Yeah,
All
and I
right.
can record.
Sweet.
Awesome. Whenever you're ready, then I think.
All right. Whenever life gets a little rough and bumpy, I don't back down. I keep going. Uh, if I didn't, it would make everything I'd done before just a waste of time. My name is Christina Mello, and I am a biology major here at UCF. That drive that I had talked about earlier to succeed is very important these days. We have, with Corona going on, right, we want to make sure that as students we can still succeed even through these trying times and overcome it so we can keep going to our future and just keep doing life as we would have done it so before this whole thing happened. This is my sophomore year here at UCF. I'm the youngest of 6 children. All 5 are older than me, and they're all males, but they don't live with me, so it's fine. My mother was an immigrant from the Dominican Republic, and my father is from New York, which means I am bilingual. I love science and I love animals, and I love just having them as a part of my family. For example, this one. Her name is Sasha, and she's very much like me. We both like to do things in order to impress people. Not necessarily for me, like going above and beyond like this one does with her tricks, but I work hard in school to meet certain expectations and to be able to, in the future, provide for my family. We also share similar anxieties to loud noises and whatnot. I would like to work in some sort of animal conservation rehabilitation center, something in that area. Because in Florida you hear all the time about, oh, the sea turtles are, being like protected, and like you see the little triangle things made of like wooden sticks at the beach. So I'd really like to do that. It would give me a good sense of like fulfillment to be able to help something that needed helping. Now, I work hard for my family and for my future, but it's important for all of us to be working hard for our futures as well, as students and as the future generation of the world. All right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You
Yay.
get out.
Great.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Done.
Who wants to go next?
I can if you guys want.
All right.
If you want.
Sure.
Alrighty. We have to stand for this one, don't we?
Yeah.
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 Figure that out.
I don't know if I stood back far enough.
No, I was
Oh, I
good.
gave-
No, I was good.
You were good.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that should work.
Yeah.
I should have worn a different shirt.
I put on a jacket because I have a crop top under the shirt and it's probably not appropriate, right? So.
Mm.
Oh, this one definitely is a crop top, but also I feel like if I pull it down far enough, it's fine.
Nice.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, I feel like everybody here has at some point in their life seen a kid at their school and been like, yeah, that's the weird art kid. We've all met them. We all know them. There's somebody in your life that's just like, you don't really know what's going on there, but you're like, okay, they're doing something. That's fine. I feel like that's me. My name's Jenna Luddy. I am currently an aerospace major at UCF. I guess I don't know how the years work. I know that it's depends on your credits, I think. It's my first year here. Got a lot of credits though. And it's been an experience so far. It's especially an experience trying to work through it with a lot of lizards at my house and a lot of mental illnesses like anxiety and stuff. The pandemic's not been great, but we're figuring it out, and so far I think I've been all right. Um, honestly, a lot of who I am is just a bunch of things that I found and decided I liked and cobbled them together into one part. And I think that that is something that makes me relate to this little guy here. This is a dragon that I made out of random bits of metal and trash from an art classroom a couple years ago for an AP project, but I I think that's exactly who I am. A lot of the things that I like and that I do are things that I know for a fact that people look at and they see no worth in it. They don't really care. They're like, why are you picking up lizards one after the other? Why do you know so much about them? And it's like, well, it's fun. It's cool. It's just what you have to do sometimes. Oh no, my internet. Sorry. With that as well, part of what I'm cobbled together with is I have a lot of hyperfixations that I've gone through recently and in the past as well. Lizards has been one of them. Recently, it's been Minecraft for no reason at all, just Minecraft. Been playing it nonstop. It's helpful too. It's especially during this pandemic. I know that we've all had to find something that we can sit down and rely on to help us calm down, to help us focus on something besides whatever is going on in the world. And it's nice to have something to be able to turn to that I love with all my heart, especially since I can focus on it so easily at this point. In the future, I'd really, really like to continue to work with things that I care about in that way. And I think that it would be really cool to eventually have either a comic or an animation series that I could run on my own and share some of the things that I like dragons or lizards, or maybe inform people about the native species of Florida in some way or another. And honestly, throughout all of that, I hope that it inspires you guys and whoever might see what I do in the future to look a bit closer at the weird stuff that you find in your life and maybe see past it just being some random little thing. Thanks.
All right. Good stuff.
Nice.
Yay, talking.
Yeah. That was good for no notes. I couldn't do that probably without notes.
I don't read well. I try. And then I get distracted by something.
I don't even know how long mine was. Mine was a lot longer before. I might have cut it down too much. I don't know. Find out.
Okay. A little bit.
I think you guys are both good because like you started we started like right at 5:50 and it's 6 right now. So I think both of your guys were like just under 5 minutes. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So when do you guys want to go, or it's on me?
I'll go.
Okay.
All right. I gotta get up, move the chair, move everything on the floor. There you go. Okay. All right. Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on when you're watching this, because it's not just you guys, it's going to be everyone else in the class and also our professor. So whenever you're watching this, good morning. I'm Jonah Nieves. I'm 20 years old, almost 21. I'll be turning 21 around the time this is due, so most likely 21 by that point. I'm a biology major here in UCF. I'm on the Ecology, Evolution, and Conservation track. And it's kind of hard for me to try and relate to a lot of people from talking to everybody in the class. I am a transfer from Rutgers University. I spent my first year there, and I've spent the rest of my time here in UCF. It's been a good transition. I think it's been good. UCF is a great school. It's great for my major, and it's a lot of opportunities here. I've only really lived in Florida for about 2 years. The only places I know are Palm Coast, because that's where my parents live, and here in Orlando, because UCF and Disney World's here. So really, the only way I can try to relate to anybody in some sort of circumstance, I mean, granted, you could be from Rutgers, but if that's the case, we need to talk. Uh, mostly talking about my hobbies. I love video games. I'm a nerd on every level. I love Dungeons and Dragons. I love Nintendo franchises. I love Disney. I love all the little like nerd stuff. Like that one kid that would have a Game Boy in like the back of the bus, just like playing Pokemon. That was me. That was me. And I never really grew out of that. If you could see the rest of my dorm. For my item, isn't it really me? It's not like, oh, I am the poster. But the poster is really good at showing the different things that I would use to describe myself. It is a poster based on the game series Monster Hunter, and it's one of its locations in it. The poster is great specifically for describing me because it tops my 3 things I would use to describe myself. 1, my love for video games. I've been playing since, I don't know, I want to say 5, sometimes it was 5. I've been playing games since then, Pokemon, things like that. I picked up Monster Hunter very late in the life, but it's become one of my favorite franchises because it piques my interest of ecology and stuff and things like that. They have all this deep lore, and it also connects to the way that I look at the real world ever since I was a kid. For my future, I always just wanted to basically be one of those people going and researching for a bunch of different stuff in the world, ecology, things like that. I've always wanted to be that sort of thing. I always joke that my dream job was to replace David Attenborough in Planet Earth and be the guy that talks like that. That was always my dream when I was a kid, just be that sort of person, and it still kind of is. That's why I'm going to the major. That's why I chose the school and things like that. I also spent a lot of time traveling. I am a military kid. My father's, well, not anymore. He's not in the Navy anymore, but he was in the Navy when I was a kid. So we spent a lot of time moving and traveling. We spent road trips all the time. And the poster is great for representing that, mostly because it is a joke and parody on travel posters. You'll see them, going to the Caribbean and all that. You'll be like, come to Jamaica, ignore the poverty, but look at this nice alcohol, things like that. This is supposed to be a joke on that thing and all that sort of stuff. I never went to Jamaica. I never had the money to go to Jamaica, but there was a lot of posters for places like Las Vegas, all the monuments like Mount Rushmore and things like that. It's always been a good way for me to like take like note of places we've been. So it's always great to represent that part of my life. Like that's something that I think I got from my father. I did love travel. I mean, I just loved going places, loved road trips, and yeah. But really, it's been nice here at UCF. I didn't want to give any sort of sappy way to sort of end this speech, honestly. In my opinion, I really like the sappy sort of stuff when it comes to introduction speeches. I'm not really good at talking about myself, but I am good at talking about other things. And I will say, UCF's been a great school. I have a lot of high hopes for this place, a lot of hopes for this class, and for just my major in general. And I'm glad to be here. And I'm glad to be your student or your classmate. And I hope to talk to the rest of y'all soon.
All
right.
All
right.
Cool.
2 more to go.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2.
I can go ahead and go.
You
right.
got it.
You go ahead. I'm going to put this back up.
All right. Oops.
Back up a
You guys can hear me, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
All right, I'll go. There are 2 sides to every story. Much like how there are 2 sides to every story, I want to tell you a bit about myself and how there are 2 sides to me. Hello, my name is Jose Meza, and I'm an aerospace engineer here at UCF. It's my first year, and I want to tell you a bit about myself. So, first thing first, both my parents are immigrants from Mexico. And I've grown up here in Naples, Florida. Well, not here for you guys, but right now I'm in Naples. And both my parents are from Mexico. And it's actually my dad's birthday today. And that's why I'm down here. And happy birthday to him. Shout out to him. But myself, I mostly like to spend time by myself, enjoy myself, and just do whatever I like, basically. not in that like way, but I just want to like have fun, enjoy myself, and I think you guys can really relate to that due to the pandemic and having to spend time more by yourself and with your family and whatnot. And a bit about what represents me. I picked something a little basic, but it's a piece of paper. And much so like I began my speech, there are two sides to every piece of paper. And I think that's something that could represent myself and a lot of people, because exteriors and interiors are often different for everyone. Myself, I'm pretty, I come off as pretty shy or introverted, and I really am that, but once I get to know people and become more comfortable, I really express myself more and I become a lot more fun, I guess. A lot of people might see me as like boring. I was like that boring kid in school, in high school. Sometimes you just see them walking around like not looking at anyone, just minding their own business. But when I'm with like my friends or my family, I'm really much more expressive. And something else about how this piece of paper relates to me is that it is blank. And I think that's something that represents me, because us as young people here at UCF, we really have our whole lives ahead of us, and we really have unlimited potential to do whatever we want. You know, growing up, teachers always tell us, "Oh, I see so much in you. I see you, like you can do whatever you want. Go to school, get your decide on your major, get a job. You do whatever you want, travel the world." And I really feel like that is something that stays true to me, and I hope I can really fulfill myself. And some of my goals that I want to fulfill, obviously, being an engineering major, I want to be a successful engineer. I'm an aerospace engineer, by the way, and I've been really enjoying it so far, and I really want to be successful in that. And I really want to just live a happy and healthy lifestyle. It sounds kind of basic, but I think that's really important. And sometimes people forget how important it is to sometimes prioritize yourself, as selfish as that may sound, but like you really just got to enjoy yourself and enjoy life, because life is limited. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed my speech about myself, and that you took in a bit of what I told you guys. And I'm sorry, I'm really forgetting my speech right now. But yeah, and just enjoy your life and really just kind of live in the moment and be happy with yourselves.
Awesome.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff. That was great.
I
Been
really
holding in
forgot
that
a lot of
cough.
Right. All right. Looks like I'm up.
Mm-hmm.
They really did put us all in a group of shy, nerdy kids. I'm also that type.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great.
I'm helping my boyfriend figure out like stuff for his D&D campaign, because he wants to make it all like different, and like each person has their own unique magical ability. Kind of like, you ever seen like Fairy Tale, or he said like Black Clover? I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
That's difficult to do.
It's
I'm
actually
also doing
going
something
pretty
similar.
smoothly.
All right. Yeah, I do something similar for the current one I'm running. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I have my mouse like all the way over here, so. Okay, I'm gonna go start. All right, so there we go. Well, what a year it's been for everyone. Sometimes it seems like the events that happen in our lives are completely out of our control, and we are just left with the task of mastering the art of making the best of it. So to start, my name is Ben Mitchell. I'm a physics major here at UCF, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how I got here, you know, who I really am, and what my future goals are. So hopefully some of you can relate to the struggles and the joys of my life as a fellow undergraduate college student. I wager it's quite a strange time to be a young adult. Within the span of a year, half of what we were taught about the world, life, relationships has been completely thrown out the window, and we're kind of starting from scratch. So the pandemic has also forced us all into some situations that may have been unforeseeable at the beginning of 2020. But anyway, I'll return to that shortly. For now, some context. I was born in Nashville, Tennessee, and then 10 years later, my family and I packed up and moved to Florida, where I spent my middle school and high school years. So as a high school student, I couldn't wait to get out of Florida because the flatness and the monotonous terrain just became torture. So when I started looking for colleges in my senior year, I looked all over the country and mostly up north to find some mountains. And then I stumbled across the state of Utah, which was, in my opinion, perfect. It had seasons, it had world-renowned mountains, and some beautiful state parks. So I set my sights there, and I didn't take them off until I got there. And that is what resulted in me saving up for my object that I'm using, which is mountain bike here. So I saved up for this, during my senior year of high school, because I figured, I might as well get one if I'm going to be in one of the best states for mountain biking in the country, because I'm just going to want to rent one over and over again until I end up paying one back. So, I saved up for this. And so just for some specs, it is a 2013 bike. It is a full carbon enduro mountain bike. It is my pride and joy. I love this bike. So I'm using this to describe myself because it's a high performance machine, but it requires frequent maintenance in order to maximize its potential. So I kind of see myself in a similar way, similar as the bike needs, its brakes bled or the pedals wrenched down or chain lubricated. Sometimes I need to set my phone down or, and pick up a book or get off social media for a couple days, just, eliminate distractions, really just a lot of self-care in order to really operate it at maximum, performance. So it's difficult to know exactly what the problem is, both with the bike and with myself. Sometimes things just don't feel right, either like if I'm on the trails or if it's in life, sometimes it just doesn't feel just like a smooth ride, or I feel like I'm putting in too much energy and just not getting as far as I want, or picking up enough momentum speed. And that's when it's time for a full inspection to really kind of break down and get to the root of the problem. Again, in both ways with the bike, whether it's me or my mountain bike. So let's see. Right, but once everything is like tuned in and everything is all set to go, it really feels like heaven. And obstacles then seem fun. Riding trails is fun, and same with doing coursework or working a job. That's all that just turns into fun. So taking care of oneself is often a difficult task. Sometimes it can be difficult to even realize what the problem is, much less how to fix it. I'm sure most of us young adults could probably relate to that. So back to the particular struggles of COVID-19. Obviously, I am no longer in Utah. When the pandemic happened, we were practically forced out of our dorms, which I'm sure the rest of you are probably in a similar situation as well. And I decided it was in my best interest to move back down here to Florida with my parents and take online classes until I could transfer somewhere in state. And so I chose UCF. And it's a great campus. I love it. But I for sure miss the mountains and the changing seasons though. So anyway, a couple things. Mountain biking has really taught me, to face challenges just head on instead of trying to avoid them. The same satisfaction I get from shredding a Black Diamond Trail that, I couldn't have done a year ago. I now get that same satisfaction out of, solving a difficult problem or grasping certain concepts. And that has helped me to come to love the challenging and rigorous coursework required in a physics major. And that will bring me to my goals. So in general, kind of cheesy, but my goals really are simple. I just want to conquer and overcome mountains, whether it's physically or metaphorically, whether it's tough courses, getting involved with research, or like literally riding mountain trails, all that just seems like fun to me now. So those are some of my general goals. The main goal is to educate myself to the point where I provide value to the world. whether that's through scientific discovery or contribution in the industry. Anything, not too sure about that yet, though. Kind of hard to know. So one of my specific goals, and more short term, is after graduation, I want to move back to Utah, or at least somewhere in the world with, good mountains and training seasons. That's something I definitely want to do. So with that, I'm going to conclude my introduction speech, and I hope that someone out there can relate to my story and hopefully even get some value out of it as well. And that's it.
Awesome.
Man, I found out I might be the only one in this group that's bad at math.
No. A bio major, no clue about how to do any math. That's why I'm having a problem with chemistry.
I was a chem major, but when I saw all the math I had to take, I was like, I'm probably going to fail that, and I don't want to have to go through this class so many times, so I'm just going to do a bio major because I like animals anyways.
Yeah, I like bio. I'm liking my classes so far for bio major, but man, chemistry, organic chemistry is a pain.
Oh, I chose intro to organic and biochem.
All right.
Ooh.
For
that is
aerospace,
kind of painstaking.
what math do you guys go up to for aerospace?
I have no idea.
Okay.
They go up to the moon. Get it?
Right? To Mars. Yeah, cool.
Somewhere after calculus.
Yeah.
They're making me take all these math classes, and I'm like, I took calculus in high school. I don't want to take all of these.
Yeah. Yeah, I've really been learning to like it. Like math is probably my favorite class.